Let's start with this question, which I think has been a pretty prominent one. Is the bear market going to end in 2023? Financial advisor Eddie Gabor tells Fox Business he actually thinks the pain of last year, well, it's going to continue.
We've lost trillions of dollars of wealth, the most amount of wealth we've ever lost as a country. That's going to have a very negative impact on consumer demand, and that's why I think we're going to see this next leg down over the next few months.
Now, a lot of us have experienced these losses and, quite frankly, don't want to continue that, don't want to see them anymore. What can we do to stop it?
It's a great question, and it is painful when you look back at 2022 and see how both the stock and the bond market ended up, and then you have people that are talking about, is 2023 going to be like that? The first thing at the end of the day I think people need to realize is that nobody knows what the market's going to do short term. The market is unpredictable, and so there are 5 tips on things that you can do to avoid some of the threats and opportunities for retirement time, and be able to put yourself in a better position to be able to take control of what's happening right now within the markets and the economy. And, if you are interested in more on this topic, what I'd encourage you to do is we have on our YouTube channel a video where we talk about this in depth on the 5 threats and opportunities that are facing retirees today. In addition to that, if we look at kind of the theme that we have here at America's Retirement Headquarters for the first quarter of the year, we're going to be providing a lot of the different tools and resources, whether it's the radio show or our YouTube channel. We also have some upcoming educational and social events. So when you're thinking about the danger zones, I couldn't think of anything better than to have a movie night. And coming up at the end of January on the 24th, we're renting out the Maumee Indoor Theater. We're going to be showing the movie Top Gun. So talk about danger zones, and we'll be talking about how that ties into your finances. Then in February, at the end of February on the 28th, we're going to hold our semi-annual economic update. We're going to spend an hour and a half diving deep into these topics. We then will also have an event in March where we'll be talking at our university class about, again, these threats and opportunities and how they can apply to your situation. So one of the things that you want to take a look at if you're worried about 2023 and what the market's going to do, take a quick minute, go online to our website. It's Americasretirementheadquarters.com, or you can just type in arhq.com. Click on the events tab, and you can schedule a time to come out to one of our upcoming events. Easy way to plug in. But let's give you those 5 tips. First and foremost, number 1, let's focus on what you can control and not what you can't control. Too many times people get caught up into things that they have little to no control over. For example, the quote about what the prediction is of the market and the pain it's going to cause this year. Looking back, I think a lot of people had predicted the first year that President Biden was in office, they had predicted that if Trump lost, the market was going to go down. And the reality is that's not what happened in that first year. So don't worry about short-term predictions. Focus really, again, on what is your long-term plan. Focus on the things that you can make decisions on, how you can control. You can control limiting the amount of money you have exposed to risk. You can control the amount of dividends and interest you get into your portfolio by, investment selection process. You can control the amount of taxes that you have by proactively tax planning. These are the things that you want to do. Number 2 is you want to look at your distribution plan. So a lot of times people have buckets of money, and they think, just taking a little bit of money here and there and, taking money from this account or that account is a solid retirement strategy. But it's in environments like this that you really need to look at your 2023 distribution plan. We had a client that, as an example, they're taking money out of their account. They're concerned about what happened in 2022, and they wanted to take all of their investments in the stock market and go to cash just because they wanted to stop the pain. Although going to cash would stop the pain, the challenge is that gave that investor no opportunity to recover if and when the market goes back up. So something that we've talked about on the radio a long time is our trademark system. It's called the independent income system. Now, within that, what we do is we create different buckets of money that are designed for different time frames. And, as a Marine, somebody who served in the Marine Corps, I was always taught to be adaptive, and you should have a plan B. Looking at your distribution plan for tip number 2 is to consider maybe taking distributions out of accounts that haven't declined down in value. So if you have things like, a fixed investment, a fixed annuity, an index annuity, something that hasn't gone down with the market, maybe you switch your distribution plan. In fact, for the person we were just talking about, that person had money set aside for about 2.5 years in a non-market account. We're able to switch the distribution plan. That way, short term, he's not selling off his equities in a declining market, giving himself time to allow those equities to hopefully come back over the next 2.5 years. Number 3 is to put your odds in your favor. If you look at it, this can be done by doing a portfolio analysis to kind of see where the strengths and the weaknesses are in your overall plan. We look at it as trying to increase your GPA score. So having kids in high school and college, we look at if you had a C, what was a challenge about that particular class? What do we got to do before the semester is over to try to get that to go up? Do you need to make some changes within the plan? The software that's out there today, and one of the softwares that we have, it allows us to do an independent portfolio analysis to look at the actual holdings, the allocations, to look at the total plan, and to say, are these investments working together, and is it optimized in the most efficient manner? And those are the things that you can look at of putting the odds in your favor. So if you're thinking about your investments, you're like, I don't know if I have the right investments, if all of this stuff is set in place and in the best position for me moving through 2023, that's where I'd say an independent portfolio analysis can absolutely help you. Number 4, for long-term growth, you want to look at quality stocks in companies that I believe are cash-rich, low debt, companies that are daily essential that should recover over time. With the stock market, you always have to say past performance doesn't guarantee future results, but when you think about your long-term buckets of money, those buckets of money, equities over the long term, still present some great growth opportunities, just as a matter of knowing what you own. And, last year with the market going down, it creates a lot of great opportunities. And again, one more opportunity with tip number 4 is know what assets you own in which type of an account. For example, if your balance grows in your traditional tax-deferred retirement account, as your balance grows, so does your tax bill. But if you switch that money and it's over in a Roth IRA, that growth can be tax-free if set up correctly. And again, you're over 59 and a half. The account's been open for 5 years. But, make sure you know what assets are owned in which bucket to be even more tax favorable for some of your longer-term growth. And number 5, to round out this tip, is identify and eliminate items that could blow up your plan. Those would be things like unexpected healthcare crisis, things like a 9/11 type of an event. The market is pretty smart. The market's already built in a lot of what it knows about inflation or higher interest rates. It knows about, where we're at in the economic cycle. Those are identifiable threats and opportunities within the market. And hopefully you as a listener or as an investor, you're taking the steps to proactively think ahead about what are those threats and opportunities. But also you have to realize that, back to the original statement, the market doesn't care what my opinion or anybody's opinion is. It's because sometimes unexpected things can come up. And so if you have a plan in place to identify if something unexpected comes up, that plan B can help you also get in a situation where if this year doesn't turn out to be a great year for you as an investor, you don't have as big of a threat moving throughout the year. You feel a little bit more comfortable and in control. And again, if you want to learn more about those opportunities, you want to learn more about where some of the threats are, I encourage you, let's stress test your current plan. We'd be happy to do that. I know the last time offered this, we had a couple of people that called away right away. If the first 5 people that call up from today's show want to stress test their plan, I'd be more than happy to do that and provide you the analysis. Secondarily, if you want to just maybe turn off the news and have a fun night, you want to learn about the danger zones, come out to our Top Gun movie night, January 24th. It's at the Maumee Indoor Theater. Reservations are required. Or you can sign up for our Economic Summit, where we're going to spend even more time diving into these 5 threats and opportunities. That's in late February. All those dates and reservations can be made right on our website. That's, again, Americasretirementheadquarters.com. Or if you want the easy access, just go to arhq.com, click on the events tab, and we'll see you out there.
And again, if you want to take advantage of that offer that Nolan just mentioned, having your portfolio stress tested at no cost, complimentary to you, give a call. Be one of the first 5 callers right now, 419-794-3030. If going through 2022 and the possibility or perhaps even probability of enduring more of the same as far as the economy goes makes you a little bit nervous. Remember that first tip that he gave you. Focus on what you can control, not what you can't control. Have a plan put in place. Start with that stress test. Give a call, 419-794-3030. And like you mentioned, go to the events tab at americasretirementheadquarters.com.